Hello everyone, this is JPL, and today I'm joined with
Matthew.
and we are the Council of Podcast Name in Brackets, and today we'll be talking about our top 5 favorite spy movies.
Yeah. Some great
Yeah,
films. A lot of mediocre films.
uh-huh. I don't know a lot about spy movies. I've barely seen a lot of spy movies, so my list is just compiled of the few I've seen. So, yeah. Do you want to get started, Matthew?
Sure. I've seen quite a few spy movies. It's a favorite genre of my family, but compiling a list of the best is really difficult. And for my number five choice, I have Skyfall. This is the James Bond movie released in 2012, and I don't know. I think of the James Bond movies I've seen, it's just a really high quality, fun film. Um, there's a lot of sort of thought put behind it. Very beautiful cinematography, great acting. The plot line isn't always the most unique, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've not seen any James Bond movie, which, the reason why I've not is because I want to start from the older ones, even though I don't have to, just so I could, see what it's all about back then and see how it is now. Just to see what the difference is.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen any of the older ones, or at least not very many. But yeah, it's an interesting franchise, and it's kind of the quintessential spy films. Um,
Yeah, these are the films that you would think of when you think of the word spy. Just James Bond with that gun pointing at the other gun or something. I don't know,
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that. That intro that we did.
yes.
Anyway, is that all we have for your talk?
Um, yeah, I think so. I mean, there isn't all that much to talk about. It's a James Bond movie, so kind of entails everything. There's a few gadgets here and there, not as many
Mm,
as some of the films, but
okay.
yeah, I feel like it's a lot more grounded than a lot of the James Bond movies, and I kind of like that as well.
All right. All right. So moving on to my number 5. Now this is where we get into I've not seen a lot. My number 5 is actually Spy Kids, It's a fun little movie and movie series, if you want to go into it, that is just, it's very imaginative, very fun to watch, and it's kind of funny how you have these kid shows and then you have Machete coming out of nowhere.
Yeah,
If you understand it all.
yeah,
But yeah, it's fun. It's a movie series I grew up as a kid. I think the second one would be my favorite personally, just because I didn't have the first one growing up. So, yeah, that's all I can say about this.
yeah. It's an interesting franchise. There are still, I guess, it uses a lot of the tropes of the genre, but a lot of times when I'm watching spy movies, I'll recognize it as something that I've already seen in Spy Kids, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah. Anyway, so number 4.
Yes. For my number four, I have a more recent one, Atomic Blonde. And
Hmm.
this is from one of the directors of John Wick, and he also directed Deadpool 2. And it stars Charlize Theron, who incredible actress. And it takes place in near the end of the Cold War, right about as the Berlin Wall is going to fall, and she has to extract someone from East Germany, and it's just a really like it's kind of it's been compared a lot to a lot of other like the female version of James Bond, Jason Bourne, all of those, and it does have a lot of similarities, but it brings its own unique flair. There's a lot of neon, a lot of punk aspects, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It isn't particularly deep or philosophical, but I had a lot of fun watching it, and some really well-made action scenes. There's a long take that I believe it goes up a staircase, through an apartment, down a staircase, and into a car chase
Uh-huh.
in 10 minutes. It's really cool. A lot of hidden
Cool.
cuts, and the stunts are all incredible. Charlize Theron does a lot of her own stunts, and it's surprisingly believable as well.
Huh. Well, I've not seen it because it's violent
Yes, it is violent.
and other stuff. So yeah, there's that. Anything else?
Yeah, not really.
Alright, so moving on to my number 4. It is the first Mission Impossible movie. It's kinda dated at times, but it's still really fun for a Mission Impossible movie. Nice theme, nice music. It's overall a fun movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. I remember watching it the first time. I was probably 7 or 8, and it shocked
Yeah.
me at the time. But it's a really high quality film.
Yeah. Just you don't know what's gonna happen, like how this series works. But
Yeah.
through this series, we understand that a lot of the same things they like to do over all the time. So yeah.
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 So for my next choice, I have kind of maybe not the most spy movie, but I decided to put The Departed, which is a 2006 movie starring Matt Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio, and they're both playing double agents. One is from the mob working in the police department, and one is from the police department working in the mob. And it's sort of a game of cat and mouse in this web of lies. And it's directed by Martin Scorsese. It actually won Best Picture, and it's just a really great, like, how everything comes together, and you can kind of see things, and you're like, is that really how it's going to turn out? How are they going to get to that point? And it's really surprising, a lot of fun, great performances, obviously, just really crazy near the end, the third act. There's a whole bunch of stuff happens, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Okay. Once again, I've not seen the movie, so there you go. You've been trying to get me to see it, but I've not gotten to that point.
Yeah, it's definitely worth. Okay, it's a bit long. That's probably my only real criticism of it. It is, I believe, 2.5 hours.
Oh, that's not too long.
Yeah, but it's still on the longer side, especially compared most spy movies run closer to 2 hours.
Long for me is about 3 hours.
Yeah.
So The Godfather is just that whole series is just long. Anyway, so moving on to my number 3, it is Mission Impossible 3. This is my favorite of that series. Since the second one was such a trash movie, that the third one comes out and done by J.J. Abrams. I can see a style that J.J. Abrams does is that he reboots a series, and it's like really cool. He does Star Trek, which say what you want about that reboot, but it's still cool to see. Star Wars, it's cool to see. You can see a style in this, and I really liked everything in this one. I think probably my favorite version of the theme is in this one. So yeah, I like the plot twist. I like the villain. It's just overall a really cool movie. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the only Mission Impossible movie I haven't seen, so I can't really comment on it.
I'm not sure if you can like it, so.
Yeah, well, that's actually a pretty good segue into my number 2, which is Mission Impossible Fallout. I really, the last 3 Mission Impossible movies have been just really great. I really liked Mission Impossible 4, and then Mission Impossible 5 was incredible, blew me away, and Mission Impossible Fallout is even better than that. It's just there's a constant raising tension, and usually in these Mission Impossible movies, there's one big stunt that everyone talks about, but in Mission Impossible Fallout, there's a whole bunch, and they're all over the movie, and yeah, I mean it's so good. I don't know that they could make it any better.
I believe there was a stunt where Tom Cruise actually broke his foot on it.
Yeah, that was in. There's a London foot chase scene, and he broke his ankle there. But he skydives, he flies a helicopter, he's climbing up ropes, and it's just a whole lot of fun. And when you know that it's real, you can feel like the vertigo, and it's just really cool. And then it's also there's a lot of prestige to this. It's a very artfully done. There's a lot of shots that you just kind of sit back and you're like, wow, that's actually kind of beautiful. And yeah, it's just really cool, especially like they use a lot of European locations really well, sort of bringing out the sort of artfulness and prestige in that. And then they also shoot on location in Kashmir, which is beautiful, and wonderful mountains there, and yeah, it's just so cool and it all feels real in large part because most of it is, and that's what I enjoy the most about the Mission Impossible franchise is just how real it feels since they are doing the stunts.
Okay.
Real.
I have not seen the new Fallout 1. I'll watch it when it comes out much later on DVD or something. But I do have like one big criticism about the movie, just without even seeing it, and that's just the name Fallout. I say this is because whenever I think about Fallout, I think about the video games, and so to put that name Fallout into a Mission Impossible movie that has nothing to do with the game, I don't like it.
Yeah,
it's very nitpicky, but it's just like I think you could do something much more creative than something that fans will associate with a video game.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Whatever.
This is also one I would suggest that if you can watch it on the biggest screen possible, because it's just it adds to the experience.
Sure, whatever. Anyway, so moving on to my number 2. It's another one where it's like, I'm not sure if this counts, but it's a Johnny English. It's more of a comedy than a spy movie, but it's set in the spy genre. It's really funny, Rowan Atkinson, at one of his best times, The first one I think is good, and the second one, years later, it's okay. It's much more weird humor. I know that there's a third one coming out soon, so that's exciting, but overall, this one is my favorite. It's very grounded, very funny. Everything just looks like an actual stunt instead of whatever they've been doing in the other ones. But overall, I would recommend you to watch it because it's honestly just one of the really funniest things you can see out there for a spy movie. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion, I saw it a year ago. I remember it being hilarious, but I can't honestly tell you anything about what it was about.
That's the thing about it, yeah.
Yeah, I can't really comment on it because I can't even remember most
the story
of what
doesn't
happened.
have anything really significant about the movie. The movie is just about these stupid antics that the guy does.
Yeah, I think I remember there was a royal wedding, but that's about all.
No, it was a crowning.
Okay, well that's similar.
Yeah, a wedding. A wedding came out a few months ago, by the way, but sure. So I would highly recommend it if you're looking for a fun movie to watch. So yeah.
Yeah. Speaking
of fun, we have...
Yeah, my favorite spy movie is The Bourne Ultimatum. And it's part of the Bourne series, and I think more than any other recent spy movie, these have been what sort of defined the genre of action during like the late
Yeah.
2000s. It's just really highly grounded. It actually often looks like a documentary, the way they film it, and it's just really cool. You feel like you're in the action,
Hmm.
with the shaky cam and the very over the shoulder. It feels almost like you're a spy yourself watching all of these things that you aren't supposed to be seeing, these board meetings and different
Yeah.
things. And it's just really cool. Matt Damon does an incredible job. He sells all of the stunts, all of the action. Um,
Yeah.
there's and in terms of why the third one is my favorite, it has some of the best moments in the series. There's the incredible sniper scene in the London
Hmm.
train station that caught my
Oh.
attention when I saw it. And there's a car chase through the middle of New York City, and yeah, it's exciting, and it really holds up well, I think, even now.
It does. And continuing on with our Bourne theme, my number one is the Bourne Identity. I personally like the first one more because it's the first of this series of movies here. And this is where the mystery is like you know less about his past and what he's like from the very beginning. And, you know, I just like that as the movie goes on, you get to find out more about his abilities and cool stuff like that. I enjoy it more. This is where you get to be introduced to the characters. You get some of the best like scenes with Bourne out there. Third one I enjoy a lot too. It's really cool. It's a nice sort of ending to Bourne, even though the new movies are doing what they do. But yeah, Bourne Identity, very good. Would recommend this series to people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a lot of the, people say that The Dark Knight is what's responsible for the sort of dark realism in Hollywood, but I would actually say the Bourne series is really the precursor to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It sort of paved the way, and I mean the series as a whole completely changed the way spy movies are made. James Bond
Yeah.
tried to follow it with a certain amount of success. Mission Impossible, again, a certain amount of success. Mission Impossible, I think, has bounced back to be something sort of less realistic. But
Of
yeah,
course.
it kind of redefined a genre that was kind of staying in the same place. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Is there anything else we want to say about this list here?
watch spy movies. I mean, not every spy movie is going to be incredible, but
No.
they do tend to be a lot of fun. Maybe don't watch a whole bunch back to back, but
Unless, you know,
yeah,
you're watching Bourne or Mission Impossible.
yeah, they aren't always the most inventive, but
No.
it's something fun to do. I like to go to the theater and see spy movies or watch them with my family.
Yeah. So yeah, I believe that's all we have for this podcast here.
Yeah.
Am I right? All
Yeah.
right. So with that said, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.